Hello everybody, welcome to a speedrun game against Commerçant, rated 1900, who starts with B4. What is happening? I'm going to go E5 because it gains space for free. Now normally you don't want to trade a central pawn for a weird pawn like this, but I think it's somewhat principled in this case as you're developing for free and you'll get tempi on his bishop with knight c6 in 2 moves. And the tempi he's gonna get on your bishop won't help his position. Like a3 doesn't help him. c3 takes away the square from his knight. But knight c6 clearly helps us. Not here directly because of this. So first we're gonna develop. Then okay, he kicks us, so we have to address that. If you go here, you're walking into free tempo moves. So let's go here, right? Now maybe he creates a nice pawn center, but we're ready to castle him 4 moves away. So that's why I take this weird pawn and give up my central pawn. He leaves the game. Okay? He comes back. Okay, we are happy to see this. What the heck is that? That's a crazy bad move when d4 is staring you in the face. Oops. So now we're going to develop for free since he's just throwing the game. Oh, I see. He did that for this, which, I mean, okay. But I don't think it's worth the entire turn. Now, before we castle, we should focus on pawn presence. The thing is, d5 or d6. d5 gains more space, but d6 blunts his bishop. So let's look at a standard development scheme. If we go here, and he puts his knight somewhere like here, and we castle, and he goes d4. Yeah, let's go 2. Let's go 2. It's not like he could put a knight here to pressure it further. So he finally gains his space in the center, but he has a weird backward c3 pawn. In the future we can abuse it. For now, let's castle. And again, what is his position? We have 3 minors out, he has 1, and our 4th is open. We're castled, he's nowhere close. So you see, we gave up that e pawn for a b pawn, which is generally weird, but it kind of works in this opening, and I think it is the principled way to try to punish it. I don't have much experience because nobody plays like this, but this guy's 1900 and he plays like this. So he develops towards the center. Fair enough. And now, I mean, we want our bishop here, our rook here, and ideally our bishop on d6, which would contest his bishop that he spent so much time trying to save. But first I'm going to put a rook on this beautiful semi-open file, get a new piece in the game. He develops his knight. I don't see a threat. He's focusing on the wrong side of the board, I feel like. And so now I'm going to go bishop d6, open up my rook's vision, and contest his most active piece and develop our queen when he takes. Our position looks amazing. We're not up anything, but he creates this little triangle setup. Since he doesn't have a dark square bishop, it's fine. We could continue our development like a reasonable chess player by going here. If he hunts the bishop, we don't really care. I don't want to make space for it. I mean, you could play h6 first and then do this move so you have a nice little home. I don't necessarily mind putting it in the center though. So he goes bishop b5. What's the threat? Maybe he wants to add pressure, but that's not a threat because he's giving up a nice bishop that he needs to cover his light squares. So I'm going to provoke him. I'm moving way too fast. I always do that. Relax. Okay, I'm going to provoke him to give up his best minor piece. I don't even mind doubling the pawns. and giving our rook an open file because he can't even go there, which is funny. You could take with your queen and maintain, but I'm going to purposely double the pawns. We can even use it to break down his center later. So now he castles. We could get this move in, but after this, is it a cheapo? You know what I mean? Is it worth it? Debatable. We could continue developing still. And now this bishop is strong. Now this bishop is worth saving. Doesn't have a counterpart. If he does go here, I don't want to trade it for his knight. So now and only now I'm going to go h6 because I'm determining that him not having access to rook b1 ever is super annoying for him. Especially since we're going to play on the b file. It also gives our king some back rank room. And he wasted time, so we have time. He's going here trying to make use of the outpost. It makes some sense. But the drawback is it undefends the center. So we're going to immediately utilize that by hopping our knight in, utilizing the drawback of his move for free, and covers that square. So it's a 2-in-1. And black's position is very nice. He moves his queen to protect the pawn. Okay. Makes sense. It makes sense. We could put a rook on the b file. We could play a5, but he's not going to let us play a4. If he plays a4 himself, though, he undefends his knight. So let's go a5. Take our isolated pawn, kamikaze it to open our rook. He doesn't address it. He retreats his knight to try to get rid of our strong knight so he can go here. It does make some sense. Abandons his king a little bit, but maybe not the biggest deal. I kind of want to just attack his knight, though. Although if I go here, he gets a knight and hits our queen. So I can't take the knight yet. And if I take with the bishop, he'll go here. Bring my rook to the b file. Okay, so a4 kind of doesn't do anything then. So I don't want to waste my turn on it. If you push c5, does that do anything? Ideally, you would love to get it to c4, right? But c5, if he gets a knight, he's still hitting your queen. So after this, it's hanging. Okay, so we're going to let his knight go here. It's not going to be doing anything. It's visually going to look nice, though. So let's make a useful move and just get on the b file. He takes. Is there any merit to this? Let's stick to more standard stuff. He goes in. Now, like I said, visually it might look nice, but it's not actually going to do anything. I think it's super important that we control this b1 square. So I'm not going to let him trade. I'm going to go back in the hole. Now we never have to touch it for the rest of the game unless we're going to get back rank mated. And what's his knight really doing is the question. Okay, so he does this to solidify, but now we have this square under control, and it's the only open file. We can't infiltrate yet because he's covering this, 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 and this, and this, and this. But there's one square he's not covering. We're going to use that square to double our rooks. Okay, he goes f3 to try to break in the center. That does really weaken stuff, but that's not a threat. Lets his knight come in. Yeah, until this is like a nice threat, I don't really want to do it. I'm just going to stick with my plan of doubling because now we have infiltration. Okay, he breaks, opens up his queen a little bit, threatening to push. But if we go in here first, does this win the game next turn? We go here. He thinks he's forking us. We go here, threatening mate. And he just gets mated, kind of. But if we go here and he does push, still gets mated. If we go here, so let's go here, as it comes with crazy threats now that we're doubled. This is a blunder by a 1900, which is possible. I feel like because 1900 is strong enough not to do that, but they're also weak enough to do that. So I'd say 60-40, leaning towards no, he's not going to do it. He'll try to somehow like defend preemptively is my guess. And then we can always take this. Oh, well, there goes that. So now he has to sack his queen. Well, 40%. I did give it 40%. Let's pre-move that. Psychological warfare. Pre-moves are useful in human chess. Not in engine chess, but in human chess they are. Because people have negative self-talk running through their heads constantly during the game when they think they made a mistake or allowed something. And by pre-moving, you can exacerbate that feeling, which causes their neurons to misfire and then they mentally collapse entirely. White resigned. Black is victorious. We gained 7 points because he was so highly rated. 23 moves. Plus 7. 1801. We did it, guys. As long as we did not blunder this game, then we did it. Otherwise, got to play another game. Polish opening. Okay, this is the Polish opening. Let's see. So we have one mistake, no blunders. I'll take it. The mistake is just a missed opportunity. It's basically all zeros until he just blunders. So he goes here. Best move is to take by the engine. Interesting that second best is f6. How do I feel about this? f6, a3, d5. So this is the idea. I kind of like this actually. You know me and I love having a nice center. So although the engine may like bishop takes before, and I kind of knew that ahead of time, that was the only thing I knew, is that the engine kind of likes giving up the e-pawn, which feels weird to me. But now d4 maybe, e4. If he goes here, we go f5. If he goes here, we go c6. And whatever he does, we just maintain our structure. e3, bishop b6, knight c3. And we have like a reverse advanced French. Weird. With a bad bishop. I kind of like this. I might go for this if we ever get a Polish opening again. If I remember. So anyway, we take the pawn. He takes the pawn. We develop center and forced. Okay, forced. Developing center for free. He goes back. Center and development. Black's already slightly preferred by the engine, but it's an equal game. I definitely prefer black though. Okay, king safety and development. You also could have maybe gone knight e4 to prevent him from developing. Interesting. Okay, development center. Improving a piece for free. He can't let us take and ruin his castling. And if he takes, we develop our queen. How's that an inaccuracy? The engine actually likes c takes d better. I mean, barely, but still. What? Stopping his knight from coming in, giving you an open c file towards his backwards weak c pawn. Interesting. I didn't even consider it. But okay, this is still zeros. It's fine. Development and center, connecting our rooks long before white. It's still an equal game, but that's if you're an engine. It's still harder to play from a human perspective for white. He goes here, which I don't like this move. We find the best move, improving our position for free, provoking this trade, which is good for us. You could take either way. We choose the B pawn. If this scares you for whatever reason, you could just take with the queen. He can attack you, but then his pawn's hanging. If he doesn't attack you, you can just go back like it's not a big deal, or to the side somewhere. But I kind of like this. I thought it was interesting because now we can use the B file, and again, importantly, the bishop covers that square. So I thought it was kind of cool. So here, c5 makes a lot of sense, trying to get rid of one of our doubled pawns and attack his center. We go for maintaining the bishop, which is just as good, basically, because I really like this bishop. It's not center focused, but it is prophylaxis focused. Now, improving a piece for free, utilizing drawback. a5 is best along with queen f6. Okay, so we find a5, queen f6. Oh, yeah, queen f6, so you have knight d6, knight c4, because that's also an outpost for us. The same way he wanted to use it, we could use that for our knight. It's a beautiful square for our knight. Okay, but a5 makes a lot of sense too. He goes here. So a4 does make sense. I didn't want to include it here because I wasn't exactly sure what the line is. Okay, so now it drops down a little bit. Fine. This was our one mistake of the game, developing or remaneuvering a piece. Because, okay, it's nice on the E file, but it's not really doing anything there, and the play is going to be on the B file. So this just goes to all zeros, so it's not like it collapses our position or anything, but the engine had a very specific line, like a4, he takes this. We have to take with the rook for that advantage, which is not what I was considering. Why would we take with the rook? He's going to go knight c5, hitting the rook, and then rook h4, only move for advantage. Are we sacking? Like if he just wastes a turn? If he wastes a turn, boom, boom. Check. Here probably. Queen g4. Oh, and then we win like that. Wow, okay. And if he doesn't waste a move, he goes like f4, queen g6, and somehow the engine likes this attack on the king. That's way too engine-y for me. So if that's what the -1 was based on, I'm not finding that any regardless. So I'm glad I didn't go down that line. And then that if that's the solution by the engine, this is not nearly a mistake in human terms. So we just develop a piece or improve it. He takes, force move. He goes here. You can move your bishop anywhere, but it's probably best not to let him take. You could go to f5, but I didn't want to deal with more tempy moves in the future. It is nice that f5 dominates his knight, though. We just go back all the way. Playable. He goes here. Improve a piece with the idea of doubling, and I don't know how he stops it. That's the whole thing, because he can't use this square. That was what everything I was basing my play around, was this bishop and this file, which does make sense. He goes for this. It's still all zeros, so he didn't blunder anything just yet. And now we make the obvious improving move, kind of for free. His best move is e4, which he played. And now rook b2, f6, d takes e. So it doesn't even like my move. It's one of my inaccuracies, which is still playable, but he has to play the move I thought he was going to play, rook f2. And now rook f2 stops me from coming in, but lets me take, I guess. But then he gets the fork. I see. So now I'm in a predicament because I have to get out of the fork. You could still take though and let him do it. He forks e3, queen takes e3, rook b1 check, and there's a lot of nonsense, a lot to calculate. I've calculated none of the above because I like to play move by move. So we go here, and then he blunders mate in 5. Mate in 5. So I knew it was unstoppable. It would have been more interesting if he played this, and then I would have had to think again and come up with some plans. And who knows, maybe I would have messed it up, but I guess we'll never know now. So we finished. Speedrun is over. Now we get to go towards new openings, which you guys don't know what they are, so stay tuned. Submit your rapid games in Discord or in the comments below. Good luck in chess, and goodbye.